Welcome, folks, everyone, to Let's Play Avernum 2 for the PC. No tips, don't need them. This is a game made in 2000 by Spiderweb Software Incorporated. I love this RPG. It is near and dear to me. I've played this a couple times and I loved it. I actually played the original series called the Exile series, which was similar to this, only it was 2D, and there's just a lot of changes between the 2D version and this isometric 3D. Anyway, start a new game. There's that stored here. Bit of background on Avernum. Avernum, a little bit more background. Spiderweb Software is a great company. They make a lot of retro style games with Ultima style games. The go on quest, raise up stats, collect items and sell them. It's just an all around good fun time. Alright, now let me explain. Here's the character selection screen. You have a choice of changing your sprites, be ladies, men, whatever. Typically the sprite will match the portrait. You see this portrait? Well, the sprite that you pick will often match this portrait. Let's see how this same hair matches this same guy. There are 3 different races in this game. There's the human. They have no special traits. They're just good all around. Nephilim. They suffer a 10% HP bonus, but they are great with bows and arrows and throwing weapons, and plus they're more nimble. They're better able to dodge things. I also consider them more of the rogue types. Slazurkai, they suffer a 20% HP bonus, but they're very tough. They're great with pole weapons. They have an innate fire resistance, and they are just your strong melee hitters. This right here, Human Soldier. Soldier is a pre-generated class. I don't really like the pre-generated class. In my opinion, it is better to go with the custom class. If you're just starting out with the game, sure, you might want to do these pre-generated classes if you don't really understand, what each class does. But for me, I want the custom. However, before I do that, my custom guy is going to be first start off as a Slith. I'm liking to go off with a heavy hitter here. Enter my name. I am now a Slazurkai soldier. Yeah, Will is probably not the best name for a Slazurkai. Let me think. Will's son. There. Yeah, it's kind of silly, but what can you do? Alright. Here's the edit statistics screen. Yeah, this tells all about that, but I'll explain more. On the top here, you have your 4 basic stats. Strength stat. Your strength stat determines how hard you hit. Determines how hard you hit in combat with weapons. Dex stat determines how hard you hit in combat with missile weapons. And also determines a little bit on your dodge abilities. This is great. Intelligence. This is good for spellcasters. Excuse me. Oh, stop yawning. As it helps out with their spell points. They're better able. They have more spell points, and plus, your melee characters with this stat will better able to resist charming effects. Endurance determines how many hit points you have. The more endurance you are, the more hit points you have. Down here is your weaponry skills. Each one, the higher the stat is in here. These first 4, the higher the stat is in these first 4, the better you are at using that specific type of weapon. Melee being swords and swords and maces and stuff like that. Pole weapons being spears and staves. Bows, that's self-explanatory. Throwing missiles like shuriken and javelins. These are the higher it is, the better you are using each of these weapons. Hardiness is natural armor. It helps you to resist. It helps you to resist damage and also resist enchantments and spell casting, I believe. Defense helps you more to avoid. While hardiness is your natural armor, defensive is the ability to dodge and get out of the way. Assassination is a very nice skill. Putting points in assassination, you have a chance of doing an extra hit. Like you'll hit once and then you'll do a sneak attack, sort of, at the same time. It's not like with two weapons. With two weapons, if you had two weapons, you hit with one weapon, assassinate with that weapon, hit with the other weapon, and assassinate with that weapon. 4 hits in one go. But it's rather expensive. Mage spells, your offensive spells. Fire, ice, whatever. Summon monsters. Priest spells, healing spells, defensive spells, that sort of thing. Arcane lore is your ability to read magical items. Reading scrolls and books and certain other things. Potion making, self-explanatory, making potions. You need the proper ingredient to make potions. Tool use. Tool use is for picking locks, disarming traps. Higher this is, the better you are at disarming things and picking locks. Cave lore helps you navigate in the wilderness. It helps you to avoid outdoor wandering monsters. You sometimes have an option to avoid encounters. That's great in case you're low on health. You need to get back to a town to heal. First aid, not really all that useful. It lets you use first aid kits to heal other characters, but in my opinion, first aid's about a useless skill. You have healing spells. And luck. Luck is a great stat. Very expensive, but your luck stat, everything goes better for you slightly. Random encounters, random little events in game go better for you. This skill is checked often a lot. Special skills, we don't have any yet. When we get some, I'll tell you about those. Over here is your trait, like feats. Feats you can choose. Each one, when you take them, will put an experience penalty on you, though. So be careful what you choose. Renown, great renown, you get more points in. There's a reputation thing in this game. Depending on what you do with certain characters and quests, your renown goes higher or lower with certain people. You don't really need this one. Nimble fingers, you're better with traps and stuff and tools. Don't really need that. Beastmaster, it gives you the ability to animals like you a little better, and you can summon a beast a day. It's not that useful. Strong will. Some people will try to. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm yelling too much. Some people will try to trick you with mind spells. It's better to but you don't really need this one either, because you'll be able to resist this more later. Good education. You're better with decode magical runes, but you'll be able to raise your arcane lore high enough to take care of that. So it's not really needed either. A lot of these skills, you can get them if you want, but they're not really needed. It just helps it a little more easier on, but the experience penalty is kind of annoying. Toughness, your body is more resilient. Constitution, strong. You're less likely to take damage. You can get this if you want. It's kind of useful. Fast on your feet. You all sometimes can make more actions in battle, but you don't really need this either. Natural Mage. Now, Natural Mage is really nice. You can wear the heaviest armor and still cast a major spell at people. This is great. For your spellcasters, get this. Elite Warrior, also good. For your melee types, this is really good to get. Now with Sazurakai, they already have bonuses to their attacks. So If you're running on a human character, this is good to get, but otherwise, you might want to avoid it. Depends on your playstyle. Divinely touched. One of your ancestors was not human. You have several special abilities you can use once per day, and you just all around. That's very special, but this isn't really all that useful. You have special abilities, sure. You're like enchanted by the gods, but it's not all that useful, honestly. The only two that are really all that useful are Elite Warrior and Natural Mage, in my opinion. You can get the others if you want. Now, under that is your bad traits. These, when you select them, will give you more an experience bonus, but also make you worse at things. Cursed at birth. You sometimes receive penalties. You'll sometimes fail to take an action. Magical effects harm you more. This is really bad. Please don't get that. This is kind of bad. Sickness prone. You're a very sickly child. Frail. You disease and poisons are worse on you. This isn't too bad. This isn't really, but this isn't really all that bad. You can get this if you want. Sluggish. You're slow on your feet. You take less action in battle. I like how they have all these pictures for these. It's kind of funny. Brittle bones. You take more damage. Now this is good for your spellcasters because spellcasters don't go into melee anyway. Now this one, don't get it. It's horrible. This is just screwing you over. This just kills you to death. You get hit hard. You just can't do nothing. You get hit hard. You lose action. Leave this alone. Now, I know I've talked a lot, and I know I've talked a lot in this, and I apologize. But now this soldier. Well, I say soldier. With this person, this is going to be my main melee hitter. Now I'm actually creating the party instead of explaining all this mindless stuff. If you want more detail, you can get the game yourself and look at it. Or if you have any questions, I'll be sure to answer them. Now, I'm going to make a completely customized party. I'm not going to put y'all through this. This is just something I'm going to do off camera. Because y'all guys have heard enough. I've explained the death. And next time on Let's Play Avernum 2, I know we didn't actually play anything, did we? I just talked you to death. I will actually get farther into the game. I will have named all my characters. I will have customized their stats, and you will see my eventual party. Until then, folks. Until then, I'll see you guys later.